So far, we've moved from the social influences and interactions that shape our individual and group behavior, and the larger social structures and institutions that provide and limit the opportunities within this country. But the United States exists within a much larger global society. Cultural influences, inequalities, and even institutions like the economy cross state and national borders. The Earth may seem large from an individual's perspective, especially when you realize there are over 7 billion of us alive today. But as soon as you get on a plane or even the World Wide Web, you start to see just how easily social interaction can form global structures. We've talked before about our ethnocentric tendency to focus on our own culture as what's good and right, but we also tend to center on our own society as what's important. But the United States is just the second largest country on the third largest continent, making it the third largest country overall after Russia and Canada, and followed closely by China and Brazil. North America as a whole has only a small fraction of the world's population. The vast majority of people, over 4 billion, live in Asia. And what we call Europe is just a small peninsula separated from the larger Eurasian continent by a mountain range. And don't forget the significance of Africa, South America, and Australia. We've been talking about economics and politics in the United States, so let's see how the USA compares to other countries in the world. We've had the largest gross domestic product, economic activity, for a long time, but have recently been surpassed by China and the combined GDPs of all the European Union countries that share a currency. A few smaller countries surpass us in average wealth per person, and while we are well above most poorer countries in wages, we lag behind other wealthy countries in minimum wage and solving the problem of child poverty. We do top the world in military spending, as predicted by the older power elite military-industrial complex theory, but don't quite make it into the list of safest countries to visit. International conflict, trade, and travel is nothing new. Humans first spread out from Eastern Africa many thousands of years ago, and since then we have kept up our intercontinental trade routes, such as the Silk Road, which carried a variety of exports from China and other countries and brought exotic imported goods back as far as Africa and southern Europe. But walking across a continent is a slow journey. So when horses in Central Asia and camels, perhaps in Northeast Africa, were domesticated and used until recently as a faster means of transportation all over the world, boats allowed people to move across the water, and Arabic sail designs opened up the seas. Chinese gunpowder eventually created cannons and guns and gave some societies advantages in international warfare and colonization. European exploration connected the so-called Old World of Afro-Eurasia to the ethnocentrically labeled New World of the Americas, and over the course of the next few centuries, industrialization sped things up and the world got ever smaller. Globalization is a general term we use for the increasing connections between different countries, regions, and continents. Industrial technology brought us faster and cheaper movement of people and goods around the planet, and information technology made worldwide communication almost instant. As a result, old separations between economic and political institutions, cultural goods and values, and local populations get blurry and overlap more and more. The Industrial Revolution that began mostly in Europe was built on imported ideas and soon exported to many other parts of the world. 500 years ago, looking down on our planet from space would have shown only the dark outlines of continents. Now we can see what parts of the world have industrialized by the way their streets and buildings light up the night. But why do some parts of the world seem so much brighter than others?